Okay, today we're diving into something that's on every leader's mind. How do you actually manage AI? This isn't just a tech talk. It's really a playbook for anyone in the boardroom or in an executive role who's trying to keep control while the ground is literally shifting under our feet.
So, let's start with a kind of unsettling thought. Right now, as we speak, there's a new decision maker working inside your company. It's incredibly fast, it's powerful, and, here's the kicker, it is almost completely invisible to all your existing ways of checking and balancing things.
Look, this isn't some future problem we need to plan for. It's happening right now. While leadership teams are up in conference rooms debating AI strategy, the fact is, algorithms are already influencing everything, from loan approvals to drafting legal documents. So the question isn't if you're using AI anymore, it's whether you can actually explain, govern, and ultimately trust what it's deciding. Now, everybody gets into AI with the best intentions, right? We want to be more efficient, we want new insights. But here's the thing, good intentions are not a strategy. And without a really solid governance structure, all that exciting innovation can quickly flip into some pretty serious organizational exposure. So let's look at a few ways this goes wrong when governance just isn't there.
First up is what we call the confidently wrong syndrome. This is when a large language model gives you an answer that sounds brilliant, it's fluent, it's authoritative, but it's completely made up. We actually saw this in a huge case where a law firm got in trouble because its AI-generated brief cited legal cases that didn't even exist. The lesson here is so important. Just because it sounds right doesn't mean it is right.
Next, we've got the problem of shadow AI. This is a huge one. It's when your employees who are just trying to be productive start using public AI tools for work. You know? Maybe someone in marketing uploads some sensitive financial data to a free chatbot to help build a presentation. They don't mean any harm, but they've just created a massive compliance and data privacy risk. Every one of those unapproved AI prompts is a ticking time bomb for your governance.
And then there's decision drift. You have to remember, AI models aren't static. They don't just work perfectly forever. Their accuracy can actually get worse over time as the world changes. You know, a credit model that was spot on last year might be approving incredibly risky clients today, all because the economy has changed. Without you constantly watching and retraining them, your best systems can just quietly drift into making bad decisions.
And this really gets to the heart of it all. These problems, they're not about the technology failing. The AI is usually doing exactly what it was told to do. The real failure is in the human systems, the rules, the ethics, the oversight that are supposed to be guiding it. Like the slide says, this is a total collapse of governance. So, how in the world do you fix a governance collapse? Well, you need a whole new framework that's actually built for this new reality. Let's talk about a path forward. We're going to introduce a concept called BRAID. That stands for Business Readiness for AI and Decisioning. Think of it as a model designed to give leaders like you structure, visibility, and, at the end of the day, trust. BRAID is built on 5 pillars that all have to work together. You can see them here. It's like weaving a rope. Each strand makes the other stronger. The whole idea is to make sure your processes are ready to handle AI, your data is clean and trustworthy, your people know what they're doing, your technology is secure, and finally that your big decisions can be measured and assured.
Now, putting a framework like BRAID into place, it requires a huge shift in how we think about our roles. For years, we've talked about human oversight, but that's kind of a passive idea, and it's just not going to cut it anymore. We have to move from just being reviewers at the end of the process to being active participants all the way through.
And that concept is called human in the loop, or HITL for short. And no, it's not just about a person at the end of an assembly line clicking an approve button. It's a whole new way of working, where human judgment is literally embedded at every single critical stage, from the day you design the model to the day you're monitoring how it's doing out in the real world.
This slide just nails the difference. The old way, human oversight, was kind of like being a passenger in a car with a rubber stamp. You're just along for the ride. The new way, human in the loop, is about active, meaningful participation. It's the difference between watching the car drive itself and actually having your hands on the wheel. And this brings us to what might be the single most important point for anyone in a leadership role: getting your organization ready for AI. This is not just another IT project you can hand off. It is a core fiduciary duty.
Think about it. A decision you delegate to an algorithm is still a decision your organization made. That's how the law sees it, it's how your customers see it, and it's how your stakeholders see it. The quote says it all. You can delegate the task, sure, but you can never, ever delegate the accountability for the outcome.
So, where do you even start? Well, the truth is, most companies have some massive governance gaps right now. So ask yourself these questions. Do you have a complete list of every single AI system being used in your company? Is there a person whose name is attached to an AI's decisions? Do you have processes to check and retrain these models? And here's a big one. What happens when a human expert disagrees with the AI? If you answered no or I don't know to any of those, you have a serious assurance problem.
So the crucial takeaway is this. AI isn't going to replace great leaders. But, like it says here, it is absolutely going to expose the unready ones. It's creating this sharp dividing line between organizations that are prepared for this new world and those who are just hoping for the best. In this new era, readiness is the new resilience.
And that leaves us with one final question to take back to your teams. And I want you to ask this seriously. What decisions in your organization, right now, today, are being influenced or even flat out made by AI? And then, looking at that list, for how many of them can you say with absolute 100% confidence that they are truly assured?